Okay, I need to introduce myself. My name's Dr. Lewis Gates. I'm a certified medium and healer and teacher in this organization. If you want to know where I hold my doctorate out of the University of Metaphysics out of California. So that's where I have my doctorate out of. Now we're going to go around the room, let everybody just tell everybody your name. So everybody will kind of, they won't remember it, but at least you'll put it out there. We're going to start on this side of the room.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
I'm Janella.
I'm Dave.
I'm Greg.
I'm Joy.
I'm Julian.
Grandma.
Autumn, Jessica,
Sherry.
Tootsie.
Laura.
Anita,
Valda.
Carol,
Jason.
Jenny.
Jan.
Margie, Sandy,
Brendan.
Richard.
I should never have control of the camera.
Does this record voice too?
What I'm going to be teaching here is spiritualist mediumship, mental mediumship, not where we use tools, or most people will think of when you do mediumship, you use tarot cards, some kind of tools that you lay out in front of you. As a mental medium, you don't really need the tools. What you're dealing with is the guides that are actually behind you. If you turn to page 26 in this book, there's a diagram of what's actually going on in your auric field. And this is something that you should know. You really don't need to know your guides or actually find out who your guides are. It's no really big deal at first that you know exactly who your guides are. Just you should thank them though, whether you know who they are or not. If you do a reading or you're doing something in contact with spirit, you should at least thank them for coming or thank them for being around you. That's all really your guides are looking for, is some kind of recognition. They aren't looking for you to call them by name. They aren't looking for you to actually put this major thing in that you want to know your guides. A lot of people that get into this work, or some people will get guide fixated. Your guides will change whether you want them to or not. So if you get guide fixated and you want to have this certain guide, and this is the only guide you'll work with, you'll be in trouble. Because your guides will change on you. Because you do not keep the same guides throughout your whole development. You don't. Right now, a lot of you could be in 5th grade in mediumship. Some are in 2nd grade. Some are a little higher than that. And what you're looking at is a lot of this is going to be, you're going to change teachers as you move from grade to grade. You'll keep your main guide, your gatekeeper, but every other guide within your vibration will change at some time in your life. The only guide I still have in my vibration since childhood is my guide named Jeff. He has always been my guide, and he is always here. The other guides have changed throughout the years. A lot of people say, you have this guide, you have this one. Well, those guides could change, and if you do get guide fixated, you'll get messed up because you'll be looking for that guide when the other guides are trying to help you through something. So don't get so fixated on guides in your vibration that you stop your spiritual growth on the other side. Because a lot of it will be spiritual growth. You can change who you are overnight and who you bring in and around your vibration. Like attracts like. You're going to attract in your vibration exactly who's supposed to be here. You don't attract evil forces. You don't attract the boogeyman or crazy people. You attract who you bring into your life. If you're a very nice person, you'll attract very nice people. If you're out looking for something dark and scary on the other side, they'll show it to you. It's up to you. It's what you're actually looking for. And I've been in this since I've been 3 years old. I have never seen evil on the other side. The other's evil over there, I just don't go there. I just don't go looking there. I used to live in New York. We didn't go to certain parts of the towns. Same thing with spirit. You don't go to certain parts of the spirit world. You just leave it alone. You don't go there. You don't go there looking. And your main objective is to find out where you fit. Each one of you will have certain gifts from spirit world. The guides that are here within your vibration is you'll have the doorkeeper. That is your main guide, number one, doorkeeper. Number two is your chemist. It's the one that changes things in and around your vibration, mixes things, fixes things for you, makes things for you. Number three is the message bearer. That's the one that comes in and helps you with your message work. Number four is your protector. Everybody has a protector. Some people might have some big Viking behind them. Some people might have a large person behind them, but you always have a protector that helps keep people from coming into your auric field. You always have a protector, always. Number five is a runner. These are guides that are in your vibration just strictly to go get you things. Just think of yourself walking into a store and you tell the sales clerk you need this, and she runs off across the store looking for it for you. That's what your runners do. Whatever you're looking for, they'll run and get it for you. So when people say, I don't really know what I want, it means that your runner has just been sitting there waiting to see what you actually want. So tell your runners, tell them what you're looking for. What are you really looking for? And they'll go and get it. 6 is your doctor, your physician. Doctors usually work when you're doing healing, working your healing vibration, helping you in that aspect. If you're trying to heal yourself, you're trying to heal others, your doctor will be in that part of the vibration. 7, 8, and 9 are your healing guides. They work when you actually do healing work, or you're doing something to do with healing. All the way from 6 to 9 are usually your guides that work immensely with your healing vibration or somebody else's that you're trying to heal. 11 is a helper. 12 is a helper. 13 is a helper. These are just helpers. They go out and get things too. They help you. Number 14 and 15, another helper. Number 15 is your master teacher. Then you have other people that move out around the vibration. Each one of us, if you could see in your auric field, you can see close to 500 people in everybody's auric field. That's how many people are associated just with you. They're just yours. It's your group. You don't have just one guide following you. You just don't have two. You have a group. Everybody does. When I look at people's auric, when I look at people's around people, I see everybody. I see all this stuff going on around you. I know if you told you guides not to go somewhere. I know if you haven't told you guides something. It's like I just look and see what you're actually telling the people around you. Notice I put the man right in the center. That's you. Everything connects to you. When you do mediumship work, when you're doing this work, it's not me telling you to do this work. It's not somebody else. You have to take the responsibility of doing it. I can give you this book to read. I can give you the tape to read, to listen to. I can do all this stuff for you, but unless you tell them that what you're looking for and how far you want to take this is exactly how far you'll propel. That's just simple. I'm just very good at doing this because I've done it since I've been 3 years old. I've done this for well over 40 some years. It isn't like I started yesterday. I've done this for a long time. And I continue to read, learn, and work with my guides. And I get people in my classes that will take the book and never look at it. They'll come to class for 8 weeks and never once will they look at any of the material or move further in their vibration. And that's your choice. I mean, I'm not telling I'm not telling you have to. You open the door as far as you want it. There's no limit to how far you can go. Everybody has got psychic vibration around them. everybody. We used to have a medium out here, Lolly Waggle, and she used to say, there's only a few mediums. A medium is rare. A lot of psychics, but mediums are rare. You can propel everybody, I believe, can be a medium. It's how far that you want to actually propel it into your vibration. It isn't like I'm the only one that can talk to spirit. I'm not the only one. Everybody in this room can talk to spirit. You can. It's all they're doing is waiting for you to give them the okay to talk to you. Most people will get scared. If you're a single woman and you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's some dark figure leaning over your bed going, hello. You don't want to know any of that. You don't want to know somebody sneaking up on your bed in the middle of the night to say hello to you. But spirit is not in your vibration to scare you. They will not. They will not disrupt your life. They do not want to scare you. They do not want you to stop your forward motion in your life. They don't. I hear people tell me that, oh, Spirit did this to me, Spirit did that to me, Spirit has done this. Nonsense. Spirit doesn't do that. You have protectors in your vibrations. You've got 500 people behind you that would hurt that individual if they bother you.
Good.
Because what you do on this earth plane affects all of them. So you think 500 people are going to just stop and say, well, go ahead, let them get hurt, because it doesn't matter. No, no, no. Your life affects their lives. What you do on this earth plane affects the spirit world. So whatever you do affects what they're doing. And they're not going to let you get in trouble. They let you have free will and choice. A medium can give you a reading, tell you all kinds of things, and you say, the heck with that. And you go off on a different direction. That's your choice. The medium can only tell you what's actually should be working in your life now. You can change the door. Your life is like, let's make a deal. Door 1, door 2, or door number 3. Your choice. Spirit is not here to make, your life is not laid out for you. It's not. Certain things you have to go through, but your life is set up for you. If you marry somebody crazy, get a divorce, take a breather, and go out and meet somebody else crazy, that's your choice. Spirit doesn't want you to meet all these crazy people. They want you to meet somebody at least nice. And most people will think that Spirit has led them here. They're cross to bear. I've got to go through this. This is something I've got to do. This. No. Nothing in your life is set in stone. Nothing. And even with the mediumship, people can tell you you're psychic, you're not going to be a medium. It's up to you to be the medium. I can tell you if you're going to be a professional medium, if you're going to do what I do. But not a lot of people will do what I do. You don't want to listen to everybody else's problems. You don't want to have to deal with a lot of junk. You just want some kind of insight into your life. So when you do something, you'll know, like, is this really right for me? Should I be doing this? Most people that take mediumship classes only want to know enough to keep them out of trouble. That's really, most people want to know that. They want to know just enough to keep them out of trouble. Where should I go? What should I do? Who should I marry? Where should I live? Where should I work? All these questions you can answer yourself. And that's mostly what people want to do. They want to know what's going on in their lives. Since we're in the spiritualist camp, most of the mediums out here are spiritualist mediums. They deal with talking to the dead, talking to the spirit world. Most people that come for readings do not really want to know who's dead. They want to know a little bit, but let's move past that. Let's go see what's going on in my life. Your guide, if you're having financial trouble and you want to ask the spirit world, you better hope that you've got a banker or somebody in your vibration that deals with money. You can't ask Uncle George the drunk if you should invest your money. He's not going to know. Like, as you are here, you will be on the other side. So if you're a drunk and an alcoholic here, you'll act like a drunk and alcoholic on the other side. If you're mean and nasty on this side of the earth plane, you'll be mean and nasty over there. You just don't change colors because you die. You don't. You don't sprout wings, be all pious, and you're this special individual. I've had women in my office, 80 years old in spirits, cussing up a storm. Filthiest mouths I ever heard in my whole life. And they're from the other side. And I just laughed because I said, you haven't really cleaned it up yet, have you? Because you listen to some of the guys and some of the people on the other side, they haven't really got it together yet. They really haven't. They're just hoping you get it together so they can just follow you. And that's mostly what your guides and your people behind you are hoping, that you get it together. They didn't quite get it all together on the other side, so they're hoping you get it together. And that's why your guides help you. Most people will ask you, why do your guides, why do these people, don't these people have anything else to do? Don't they have anything to do on the other side? Really, we look at time and space. We're going to get into a lot with quantum physics. I could just do 3-4 hours on quantum physics. But time is not as, we see time in a whole different way than the spirit world does. Your guides can be here, there, and everywhere. It doesn't really matter. It isn't like they follow you every second of your day. But certain guides will stay with you throughout your life. Certain guides have taken on that job to be with you. Like Jeff has taken the guide to watch me. Your guides, certain guides in your life will watch you, work with you, be with you. It isn't like they're going to go off somewhere and just leave you all by yourself. We're no good by ourselves. We head down dirt and things wrong. We get pulled into things. A lot of us are on our path we're supposed to be, but we get off our path. We take off on excursions. I always propel people's lives as cruise ships. As long as you stay on board ship, they've got food, they've got protection, you've got the swimming pool, everything else. It's when you go on the ship excursions, you get off ship and you go ashore. Get yourself in trouble. That's when you need to listen to yourself. And that's where your guides come in. That's where your guides, our guides will tell us. Your guides don't appear all the time, but your guides will try to warn you of impending doom in your life. They will. I've said in this class, one of these classes before, your guides will not jump in to save you. They'll all sit outside the hole and watch you and wait till you climb out. Once you climb out, dust yourself off, and they'll go, well, did you learn something? Okay, let's do it again. And they'll start helping you down the road. But they block certain parts of the road off. They try to keep you away from certain things that will disrupt your life. And some of us get intrigued with certain things in our lives. We get intrigued. We want to go see. When we came out to Castaneda, they told us, don't go see that medium. Oh God, they're rough people. Don't associate with them.
Yeah.
That's the first people we went to go see.
That's right.
And we want to know why we shouldn't associate with them. And we found out they were pretty nice. So it was like, some of us will just say, really, we aren't supposed to do that. Well, we'll go do that anyway. So gear yourself. During this class, you're either going to find out if you're clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, or clairgustance. I'll go through some of the types here. Clairvoyance is actually when you see spirit through your mind's eye. You actually see spirit through your mind's eye. Through your third eye, you see spirit within your head. I happen to be an objective clairvoyant. I see spirit outside of the body. I see spirit out there. I don't see them in here. I see them out there. You can be clairsentient, where you feel spirit, sense them. You sense your mother around you. You sense somebody following you. You sense something in your vibration. That's clairsentient. Clairaudience, when you hear your name out of nowhere, somebody's yelling to you, or somebody's talking to you, and you don't see anybody around you, but you hear somebody talking. It's clairaudience. And clairaudience is just a sense of smell. It's when you smell spirit, or you smell roses. Your mother used to plant roses. You smell the cigarette smoke, and your father used to smoke that certain type of smoke. You smell something in the room that associates you with somebody in your vibration. My grandmother used to wear this Guardian perfume. It was this gardenia perfume that smelled awful. I didn't have the heart to tell her it was old and smelled terrible, but she loved it. But every so often, I'll get that smell in the room. And I'll know that my grandmother's here because I know that her smell of what she used to wear. Everybody has a chance to achieve all of the senses. It isn't like you're just going to be clairvoyant and that's it. You'll achieve all the senses as you work at them. It isn't like you're going to be all of them all at one time. I wasn't all the senses all at one time. I started out clairvoyant. Then they said, okay, you did good with that. We'll give you clairsentient. Then I started hearing spirit. Then I started smelling spirit. But it was a progression. It wasn't like I had everything at one time. You should majorly work at what gift is given to you. Don't think that you have to be clairvoyant like me. Oh, read like Lou does. No. You should figure out how you read. Do you sense spirit? Do you feel them? Do you actually see them in your mind's eye? Do you hear them? How do you work it with spirit or actually work with them at this time in your life? That's the gift you should work at, because that's what spirit gave you. They didn't give you clairvoyance or give you something else. They gave you one certain gift. Work at that first. It's like they give you a first grade primer and go, read this. And if you don't read it or don't open the book, they don't take you any further. They just leave you there. So, okay, we'll wait. And spirit's got all the time in the world to wait for you. Time means nothing to spirit. They just sit and wait until you're ready to pick the book up and open it. And most people need to open the book. I want to get to a point in my life that people do not need mediums. They need teachers, not mediums. They need people to teach them how to do this, not people to read for them. Because here in years to come, people will be able to read themselves. Won't need mediums. Won't need us to tell who is around them. They already know. And that's where we're moving towards. We're moving towards you're not having mediums anymore. You're going to be having the point where you're having teachers teaching people how to contact the spirit world. And that's where I'm taking most of it, because I feel like everybody should know how to talk to people over there. That's the main thing that I can give you, is that you're supposed to be able to talk to them without any trouble. Most of us will not listen. That's our major problem in our life. We don't listen. Things will happen in our life and go, ooh, I knew that. You already knew that. Things will happen, you go, oh, I knew they were bad news. But you sit there and go, no, it's okay, it's just me, that's just me. You'll touch somebody's hand, you'll shake their hand, you go, I don't feel good with you. But you'll go out and date them. But you'll touch their hand, you go, oh, I don't feel good with you. But you go out and do something with them, and then you get in trouble and you find out, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I knew that. And if we just listen to ourselves, because our major thing of in our lives is our gut feelings, our instincts. Diana Davis out here will tell you, first thought, first impression. What's your first thought, first impression? That's the best thing that you can work with. What's your first thought about something? What's your first impression of something? Listen to yourself. Because that's your all group, that's every one of your guides. When you're doing something wrong, that's every one of your guides screaming at the top of their lungs. Is that intuition you get. It's every one of your guides screaming. If you're heading towards something you're not supposed to be going through. Simple as that. Well, now I got a little story. When I was 17 years old, I told my father, because I had a dream of my father dying. So I just said, because he was getting married the next day, so I said, don't go. Don't go in your car. Because I knew he had to drive my big Buick Electra. I said, take the Buick. Don't take your little small car, because you're not going to survive it. And he said, oh, you're just crazy, look. And at that time, I had seen my stepmother, which was, she was a wild woman, but I see my stepmother in spirit standing there staring at us. So I knew that something was going on with my father that day. But until, so I couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop him from taking his small car. Took off anyway. And got killed that day. But I couldn't stop that situation, my whole vibration. I couldn't at all. So I learned in my life, through most of the people in my life that I've seen die or pass the spirit world, I could not stop their movement to the spirit world. And you should never blame yourself because you knew somebody was going to go and you couldn't stop it, because some people have to make that journey. You cannot stop their journey. You can't. And I found that out a few times in my life, that I could not stop somebody's forward motion in their life. And there's where we get to the point that we know a lot of stuff and we start seeing things happening around people and we go, ooh, I should try to stop them from doing that. And they do it anyway. You should not blame yourself, because that is their progression, their path, their movement. My father had to go the other side. I know that now. But when he was going, I didn't want him to leave. I think the main part is I didn't want to raise my crazy brothers. But I didn't want him to go. About 6 weeks after that, I went to a seance, a trumpet seance. And during the trumpet seance, the trumpet came up in the room and moved around the room, and I heard my father's voice say, put your hand up. And out of the trumpet came my father's wedding ring that I had cremated with him, and dropped in my hand. So he had a way of connecting back with me and saying, I'm okay, I'm all right. But a lot of things have happened through my life that I could share with you that have actually made me a firm believer in spirit. Too much stuff in people's lives happen that makes you come here. Because you really can't go back and be the perfect Christian. There's certain things that have happened that you've seen, but you can't go back and do that again because you've seen the other side. Some people have near-death experiences. Some people have passed and come back. People have seen spirit in their room talking to them. I have to have 30 to 40 people in my bedroom every night staring at me. They don't wake me up because I've told them not to. As a kid, they used to wake me up. They used to say, okay, he doesn't need any sleep, let's talk to him. And you'd hear him talking all night long. Playing cards, talking, making noises all night. So I finally said, that's it, you need to stop. Now all they do is just sit there and watch me. And they wait till I move. They go, is he awake, is he awake, is he awake? Can we talk to him now? So once you open the door, they will come. It's kind of hard to slam the door shut. It's like being backed up on the door and you're trying to push the door shut. It's kind of hard to get it shut once you open it. Because they come. You'll see them. You'll sense them in the room with you. You can't get away from it once you open the door. And it isn't like you're going to attract some crazy spirit in and around you that is going to make all kinds of stuff happen in your house. You aren't. All you attract is like, as I said before, like attracts like. You're only going to attract in your life what you put out. If you believe that you're attracting only good and wonderful spirit in your life, that's what you'll attract. I hate it when people go into meditation and say, breathe in the good energy, blow out the bad. Well, I don't really have any bad energy inside of me. I'm not really supposed to be getting rid of nasty, crazy stuff inside of me. If you believe you're blowing out bad energy, then what does that say to you? That you've got bad stuff inside of you? We don't. You do not have crazy and bad stuff in your vibrations. You don't have entities sucking energy off of you. You don't have past lives that you have to go through some kind of karmic debt in this lifetime. I always believe that if you had this major karmic debt that you had to go through in this lifetime, then why didn't Spirit tell you? Why don't they tell you that you better get this right this time? Get this right. No. You don't have. This is a new slate for every one of you. This is where you are. This isn't some past life in the Middle Ages. You're here. This is your life. This is it. Once you go back to the spirit world, if you come back, it's a whole new slate. All new situations, all new things in your life. You don't carry all this karmic debt from somewhere else. Because if you believe that natural law and everything else attracts in your life, everything that you do has a purpose. Everything. Everything in this earth plane has a purpose. We might not see it. We might not think that the big earthquake out in the Far East was this major purpose to kill 150,000 people. But things will appear from this that will change the world. We don't see it. But things will happen that change things. And that's why when you get to talk to spirit, or actually see spirit, or sense spirit in or around you, they are mostly there to guide your path. Yours. They can help you with other people's path, but mostly to start with, they're there to help you. Get you on keel. Get you where you need to be. Because that is the major key with this. As spiritualist mediums, we believe that this is it. This is your life. Some spiritualist mediums believe in past lives. I happen to be one of those. I've seen too much evidence that says they exist. But I do not believe that you bring your past lives into this life. You can remember them, but they cannot affect this life that much. Because if they did, you might as well just go sit home, pick up a book, and don't move. It means because you're living some past life, you might as well not do anything. Because they're already sucking energy out of you, you're already in karmic debt, you got all this crazy stuff happening. So you might as well just go home, lock up the windows, and read a book. If they got everything planned out for you. They don't. And that's why a lot of this is you moving forward. A lot of this class is going to be a lot more of getting you comfortable with reading. Some people in this class will probably tell me, I can't read, I don't do that. I will do things around you that will get you to read. And you'll read quite well. Because what I do is I take all your senses away from you. I put you in a circle. I put you somewhere with a blindfold on. You won't know who's in front of you. You won't be able to judge all this stuff. A lot of people will say, I can't read her because she's my friend. I know too much about her. But if I set her in front of you and blindfold you, you don't know she's there in front of you. You don't know. It sets off. Some people that have been in my classes before know that it actually does work. Works quite well for them. Because it takes your senses out, your fear of being right or wrong. Most of the mediumship is because of the fear. You don't give a good reading because you fear what you're giving. Your main objective when you do mediumship is to throw the fear out. Get rid of the fear. That should be your first point objective of being wrong. I went through all the studies out here in Castaneda, and never once did I ever look at one of my critiques. Not ever once. Because I already believed that I had given the best reading that I could give. Why should I look at critiques? Because you'll always have one or two critiques in the whole bunch that somebody just is having a bad day. But overall, your readings will pan out. It's when you get a bad report or something bad, you feed on that unless you've gotten rid of the fear. You never really give a bad reading. Sometimes people are not ready to hear what you have to tell them. I've had clients of mine that I've told this, and this. And they really don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that. But eventually they'll see that everything falls into place. But when I tell them what's going on in their life, they really don't want to see that. They don't want to know that. So a lot of this is, you need to get rid of the fear. If you go to learn certain things, you should always figure out your vibrations. We had an old English medium here at one time, and he told us the only word you need to understand your life is the word CERT, C-E-R-T. C for communication, communicate. E for evidence, ask them why they're here. Evidence, give evidence. I got your mother here. Don't tell somebody, I've got your mom here. Is your mother in spirit? Oh, I've got her here. What does mom look like? What's going on around mom? Does she wear pearls? What does she smell like? What's your hair look like? What's going on with mom? Probably most of the people in this room, your great-grandmother has passed to spirit, unless you have some really good genes in your family. If I tell you your great-grandmother is in spirit, there's a 99% chance grandma's here. What does grandma look like? How did she walk? How did she talk? What did she do? There should be some kind of evidence to tell you that I've got contact with grandma. I hate it when people say, I have grandma here. Do you have grandma in spirit? Oh, poor dear, I've got her here. She's so sweet. Never give readings in my class that are negative, because that will stop you. No readings negative, none. Don't tell somebody they're going to die. Don't tell, I've had people in my class tell people that before. They're going to leave the earth plane shortly. Don't tell people that. Don't tell anybody else they're going to die. Don't tell them their husband is sleeping with somebody else. Don't do any of this stuff in my class, or I will stop you. No crazy readings. Your readings are supposed to uplift. Now when you go to get a reading from somebody, or a mediumship reading from somebody, they should push you along the path. Not beat you up with a hammer and leave you for dead. They are not to hurt you. If you get into a reading and somebody's telling you all kinds of crazy stuff, you need to back away from it and go, whoa, wait a second here. Do not get into relationships in your reading unless the other partner is there. Do not tell them that the other partner's doing something, because you're reading the energy off the individual. If you came to my office and you know your husband was having some kind of affair, you just knew it. That will be, your whole vibration would feel that. It would just be this great big auric field, be hitting the medium right in the face. Like, whoa. But you bring the husband in, there's no energy like that at all. There's nothing like that. Don't get into things in your life that you can't back out of, especially when you're giving readings. You'll learn a very good lesson if you do that, because it'll come back to haunt you. I had a lady one time tell me, says, I know my husband's cheating. I know, you tell me. Cool, I don't want to know he's cheating because I'm kidding. And I said, I don't go there, I'm sorry. But I don't go there. But my guides will follow you home. If there's something you need to know, they'll show it to you. And she goes, I hope so, because I've got his number. She gets halfway back to Cocoa Beach. Her car breaks down right in front of Motel 6. Guess whose car's in the parking lot? She calls me from her cell phone and says, your guides are good? But I don't go there. I leave that well enough alone. You can't go there because you get into, because you feed the people's energy will give you, if they've got something they've been dwelling on, or mate, or something in their life, unless you've got the other person there, or something else to look at, don't really go there. Because that will get you into a lot of deep water. A lot of deep water. Because I had one guy come to my office, he goes, I want a reading with my wife. I said, really? So I whispered to him, I said, who's Brenda? He goes, who? Honey, we're going to have to do these readings alone. I will not do that. But remember, Relationships are kind of, unless you have both people there. Because the energy, it gets crazy with some people that think that something's going on and there's nothing going on at all. It's all a figment of their imagination. But if you feed into that, it can make crazy stuff. Because I had an individual come to my office that he knew that his wife was doing something. He just knew it. And I said, where's your wife? Bring her. I don't want her to know I'm here. I said, well, I can't do this. And he finally brought his wife. And I looked at her and said, there's nothing going on here. Oh, no, I know there's something. I said, nothing. So he went to another medium out here. The medium told him that something was going on. And he tried to kill his wife. And she was doing nothing. So, you got crazy spouses out there. They have objects in their house. They'll hurt you. You have to try to, you have to remember that when you do the readings, you're communicating with spirits. See, evidence. Evidence. Prove that they're here. Are for certain. Are is the reason they're here. Why are they here? Why did they come? Why do they want to talk to you? The reason spirit comes to you is they want to speak to you. Through a medium, they'll speak to you. Your spirit should not fly in and fly out. You can't stand up here on a platform and say, I've got your grandmother here, she just flew in, flew out, she loves you. If grandma came all the way from the spirit world to talk to you, she's going to have a lot more to say than that, I love you. You already know your grandmother loves you unless she was crazy. And then she's going to say something else. But a lot of this stuff is evidence, reason they're here. And then at the end of a reading, you need to tie up all the loose ends. Tie up things. Paul Jacobs will tell you to tell a story. Tie up all the loose ends. When I do readings, I see people, when you walk in my office, there's about 10 people that follow you, and they all sit down on the floor beside you. Then they turn on the TV screens. Then there's people writing on cards, showing them over in the corner of the room. So I've got to look at all this stuff. I got to look at the screens. I got to look see what people are saying. I got to see what they're writing on the cards. I got to see all this stuff, and I got to make sense of it all. I've got to try to make sense of all this. A lot of the times, my guides will come right up and just say, Lou, we want you to tell them this. And most of the time, they're playing games back there. They're holding up signs. They're doing picture screens. They're walking back and forth. They're doing things. And as a medium, you've got to be able to chew gum and walk at the same time. Remember that. Because you got to do a lot of things all at one time to make sense of it. Because they'll try to show a lot of things to you. A lot. All at one time. And you've got to take all this and tell a decent story. You've got to be able the person to know that you've got in contact with somebody. That you're in contact with their life. I still haven't figured out how I do readings. I just know they tell me stuff. I tell you stuff. And then you say, that's pretty good. I go, good, okay. And I don't feed into it. Because if I fed into it, or I don't feed into the readings, or my guides will just stop me. A lot of people will feed into the readings, feed in stuff that really doesn't belong there. Only follow your guides as long as they're leading you. Don't take off with your own flashlight onto your own path. Follow what your guides are telling you, what they're showing you. See, a lot of people will go to classes and they'll try to figure out what all their symbols are. Symbols. In this class, you'll learn your psychic alphabet. I will help you learn your psychic alphabet. But the main thing here is for you to know what the symbols mean to you, not what they mean to me. I have a good story. Like, if I had roses in my vibration, red roses, my mother used to hit me with red roses. Used to do things with red roses around me, with the thorns and things. I don't like red roses. But Anita might have had a husband that gave her red roses, and she just thinks they're the best thing in the whole world. I get a bad feeling with red roses. She gets a good one. Well, they're going to show her different things that fit with her life experiences, not with mine. I could tell you red rose is bad. And you're going, I don't feel bad to me. I like red roses. You gear your vibration for what they mean to you. That's why in my class, you need to be truthful to the individual. Don't think that the individual, so, oh, I gotta make them feel good. I'll tell them they're doing really, really good, and they're doing really bad. Don't, because you're setting their alphabet for them. I want you to leave this class and go, oh, I know what that car means. If you're giving Dick a reading and Dick goes, oh, the car means this, doesn't quite mean that to me, it means this. You help each other, you feed off each other. It's like you're looking at setting your own alphabet. I can't teach you your alphabet. I can tell you what certain things mean, but you have to live vibration. You have to say, that means that. And it's only through these circles and these classes you get to work at it. You get to sit and read somebody, and then they get to have some kind of feedback. You get feedback from your readings. When I used to do readings on this platform, I used to take a tape recorder with me. Nobody knew I had the tape recorder. I had it in my pocket. I would turn it on. I would do readings in here. Then when I got home, I'd rewind it. I would play them back. I would see if I was doing things that I should break the habit of. You have a lot of mediums that will say, but, maybe. You keep saying the one word all the time in your readings. It becomes a habit. When you say in your reading, it means you lost connection. Someone has smashed your antenna. You do not need to say in your readings. None. It means that you have to find out where you have a flow. As long as you're breathing and you're part of the spirit world, touched in the spirit, you're sitting here. It's when you're breathing and moving the vibration, you stay connected. It's when you go or you stop breathing, or you slow your breathing down, it means that you've dropped out of the spirit world. You've dropped out of the spirit world. It means that then you have to regroup, get back up to the spirit world. Spirit will never lower the vibration to meet you. You will always have to meet them. Spirit doesn't say, well, okay, we're lowering our vibration today, we're going down to sleep alpha. They don't do that. What they do is they wait for you to come to them. That's why you meditate. That's why you get quiet. That's why you sit and be quiet. That's why. Because you get to listen. You get to raise your vibrations. Breathing is a big key with this, and we'll get into a lot with the breathing and this vibration. A lot. But breathing is a major key with doing mediumship work. It's how you breathe. How you contact spirit, but how you breathe keeps you in contact with them. You have to know how you breathe to do public work. If you stop breathing up here, you've lost the connection. It means you have to stop and regroup. Some mediums will lose the connection. I'll see the connection fall right on the floor, and they'll just keep going with the reading. They've already lost the connection back here. They've lost it. If you feel like you're not making a connection with something, then just stop. It does not hurt just to stop. Just kind of regroup, then start again. But never keep going with the reading once you've lost connection. And you'll feel it when you've lost connection. You'll know. Spirit doesn't like you going forward when you've lost connection. They'll stop you. But the main thing with this whole thing is for you to learn how to do mediumship work. And I will do the best I can to get you there. But that's why I've made up this book. That's why I have that tape so you can take me home, talk to you. But the main thing is to understand where you're coming from. I only know you right in this classroom. I do not know you from your personal life or what's going on in your personal life. So how much time you can take in your personal life. Can you actually get quiet in your house without somebody running in your room and making you crazy? Do you have places that you can go and say, I can get right in here? It's according to how is your life. Is your life from you get up in the morning till you go to bed is totally wild. You don't get time to the whole day to just stop. So you have to pick out the deal to do this. I can only tell you that it's supposed to work, and it will work if you give it time. See, your life should be very pleasant. Your mediumship work should flow. Eileen is going to tell me that my mediumship work flows. But it's taken me a lot of years to get it to this point. It isn't like I just started doing this yesterday. I've been doing this for I've been doing mediumship. I've been in spiritualist camp meetings in tents out in Wisconsin, doing readings on wood stumps when I was 12 years old. I've been in this for a while. I didn't just start yesterday. But as you, as students in this place, work in this class, I can get you to do this, and I can help you to do this. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back as you all stretch, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get into some more of the breathing and different things in the vibration.